Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a lovely new Primeape card. Yeah, there's been a lot of reveals lately, so you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I will get through all of these new cards. I don't necessarily always want to do 4 videos a day, but I am going to show you all the new cards because that's kind of my thing. This new Primeape might have taken us a couple of days to get to, but make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. This new Primeape is not some throwaway card which isn't good and won't see play and I left till the end because it's garbage. This new Primeape is a legitimately good card that I could see being a bunch of play in single strike decks. And once again, we are at that stage where the fact that we're talking single strike deck is absolutely huge here, because it is single strike which makes this so gosh darned good. Now, while translations come from the lovely Antoine Boulet here, but we'll start off with the basics. 120 HP on a stage 1 is meh. There's too many Pokemon that naturally do 120. It makes me nervous. Retreat cost of 2 does mean free retreat with Air Balloon, which a bunch of decks play, which is nice. Weakness 2, Psychic is kind of annoying because of Mewtwo and Mew, but then again, you've only got 120 HP. There'll be a few people that get you here, or a few Pokemon that get you here and there, but I don't think it's really that terrible enough to be too worried about. The fact that it's a fighting Pokemon, however, we do need to worry about. It means Stone Fighting Energy to reduce damage done to you. It means Karate Belt to reduce your attack cost by 1 Fighting Energy if you're behind on prizes. It means Martial Arts Dojo. If you've got a Fighting Energy attached, basic, you do an extra 10 damage or an extra 40 if you're behind on prizes. It means you're hitting weakness against things like Pikachu and Zekrom and Eternatus VMAX, which are among the very best decks in the game at the moment. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This sounds pretty gosh darned good to me. But what does it actually do? Well, the first attack we're not going to spend a huge amount of time on. 1 colorless energy, 20 damage, discard any stadium card in play. And we can up this damage if we want to. Honestly, you're using this to get rid of a stadium. So, if your opponent has managed to stick a Black Market Prism Star in play, but you just don't have a counter stadium, this will work. Remember, that reduces the amount of prizes taken by 1 when you KO a Darkness Pokemon with Darkness Energy attached. So if you're not playing Marshadow to get rid of stadiums and you're not playing a counter stadium of your own, this will work. And I think that's kind of where I come down with this first attack. I don't think it's a particularly good attack, and I don't think you'll use it very often, but not every deck plays the Marshadow from Unbroken Bonds, and not every deck plays Counter Stadiums, so if you're not playing Counter Stadiums and you're not playing Marshadow, but your opponent manages to stick something in play like Black Market Prism Star, or Wonder Labyrinth would be the other one. Prism Star Stadiums being especially relevant because remember they're limited to once in a deck, so if you can get rid of them you know they're gone for the game. Then in that situation, yeah, this sounds alright by me. This sounds pretty good. Outside of that, I don't think we're ever going to really use it, but it is nice to have as an emergency. Far better than that is the second attack, Frenzy Bomb. This attack does 50 damage for each of your bench Pokemon with any damage counters on them. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, I like very much indeed. Plus there's a great combo here with my boy Donphan, because remember that Donphan for a single energy will do 120 to the active, plus 20 to each of your bench Pokemon. So, you know, attack with Donphan, damage all your bench, hope Donphan gets damaged but not KO'd, or just use Jinx to move a damage counter over to it, and oh look, now all your bench Pokemon have damage on. In comes Primeape. And if you've got an entirely damaged bench, if you've got a bench of 5 Pokemon, all of whom have damage counters on, that's 250 damage. Bearing in mind you're hitting the best weakness in the game. 250 damage is great. But remember, it's not often going to be 250 damage. Honestly, what you really want here is Martial Arts Dojo and Single Strike Energy. Oh yeah, this is probably about the time in the video where we should get to Single Strike Energy. Because you see, Single Strike Energy is that new energy that can only be attached to a Single Strike Pokemon, like for instance Primeape, but it then lets you do an extra 20 damage. So now if you've got a single strike energy on, you're behind on prizes, your other energy is a basic fighting, and you got martial arts dojo in play, not as difficult as it might sound, then actually you're doing an extra 60 damage. So that 250 with a full damage bench isn't 250, it's 310. Now 310 is past tag team KOing territory. Your tag teams, even things like ADP coming in with 280 HP, they're gone, you've got them. You're even into kind of VMAX territory here. You will get the weakest VMAXs out there. Now something like Center Scorch comes in with 320, but Galarian Zigzagoon will do the extra 10. Or you can use Vitality Band, because bearing in mind we're using a special energy in a stadium here, but we're not using a tool. So Vitality Band puts you up to 320. And I know that means Vitality Band, and it means single strike energy, and it means Martial Arts Dojo behind on prizes. But you're talking about a one-hit KO on a free prize Pokemon. It's worth it. If I am using a single prize Pokemon to get a one-hit KO on something that's going to give up free prizes, yes. That seems absolutely fine by me at this stage. Oh, it's a bit of a combo. You'll be fine. And I should mention at this stage that Houndoom becomes extremely important, because Houndoom has got that awesome ability that lets you search your deck for a single strike energy and attach it to a single strike Pokemon. Now, you do have to put 2 damage counters onto that Pokemon, but also bear in mind, anyone that you attach energy to using Houndoom will then have damage on to increase the amount of damage you're doing using Primeape. And because it's 2 damage counters, if you've got a Jinx on the bench, then you use Houndoom, attach a single strike energy to a Pokemon, use Jinx to move 1 of the 2 damage counters over, and you've not only attached an energy, but you've also got 2 extra damage Pokemon, which is an extra 100 damage. Oh yeah, that's starting to sound pretty good to me. Now, a day or two ago, I showed you the new Phalanx. And Phalanx is, well, they basically showed at the same time Phalanx for Rapid Strike decks and Primeape for Single Strike decks. And Phalanx for 2 energy, but bearing in mind Rapid Strike energy will pay both of them in one go, you do 20 damage for each Rapid Strike Pokemon that you've got in play. So essentially what you do here is you fill up your bench full of Rapid Strike Pokemon, attach a Rapid Strike energy to a basic Pokemon and hit 120. It's a very easy attack to pull off. It's a very fast attack, and that means that Phalanx goes into every Rapid Strike deck. That's not where we are with Primeape. Primeape is the other side of the coin. Remember, the whole point is that Rapid Strike is speed and consistency and all of that, and Single Strike is one big attack. So Phalanx comes in with a much weaker attack, which is really easy to get going. 1 energy, basic Pokemon, go. Primeape, you need to really build a deck around it. You need to have a Pokemon like Donphan that will damage all of your bench. You probably want to play something like Jinx to move damage around to make sure that every one of your Pokemon is damaged. You're going to need to play Martial Arts Dojo. I mean, to be fair, if you're playing any single strike deck, Houndoom and Single Strike Energy are a given, but still. And you're going to want to play Martial Arts Dojo, and you're going to really want to build up this deck. But the fact of the matter is, you're talking a Stage 1 Pokemon that has essentially a single energy attack. It's a double energy attack, but as long as you can have a Houndoom out, you're fine. And Houndoom is not limited to once during your turn. So if you've got 2 Houndoom out, you can get 2 single strike energy onto Primeape in one go. And okay, fine, that won't work for Martial Arts Dojo. Remember, that's got to be a basic energy. But it will mean you do an extra 40 damage with your attack. And this builds up super quickly. I don't think Primeape makes a very good tech. I think Primeape, you need a deck built around it. Sure, sometimes you'll come up against a deck that is built to spread damage, like a deck built around Roxy, for instance. And your opponent will do all of the hard work for you in terms of damaging all of your bench, and that will be lovely. More often, I think you're going to have to build this deck yourself. I think you're going to have to make it work. but we're talking a single prize, really easy to get going Pokemon in terms of getting the energy on, that should be hitting minimum 250, that could be hitting way over 300. I'm giving this 4 Wassies. I think you've got to build the deck very specifically for it. I don't think it is going to be something that you can just always make work in every single strike deck. But I think you're doing so much damage with a single prize Pokemon here that can, you're not always going to get the stadium and all of that. But just getting the 2 energy onto Primeape should be easy. Attacking with Donphan occasionally should be easy. And this is a deck I can certainly get behind. And I haven't even mentioned stuff like Emboar that lets you do an extra 30 damage. This could be so much damage. But I'd like to know what you think at this stage. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.